Hello and welcome. Have you ever seen a younger woman smile at you and instantly brushed it off as simple politeness? Or perhaps assumed it had no significance at all? But what if I told you those smiles often hide a much deeper message, one that many older men fail to recognize? In today's video, we're diving into the real reasons why younger women smile at older men and what it truly reveals. We'll explore the subtle yet meaningful motivations behind these gestures, reasons that, once understood, will completely shift how you perceive yourself and these interactions. Stick with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll stop doubting yourself in these moments. Let's begin. Reason 1. Stability is an underrated magnet. Revised. Stability is an incredibly powerful form of attraction, and it's often overlooked by men. Many underestimate how deeply women value a stable partner. While younger men might chase excitement, charm, or physical appeal, they frequently ignore one of the strongest traits that captivate women: emotional, mental, and financial steadiness. A man who embodies these attributes stands out in a world filled with chaos and unpredictability. Younger women might not always express it openly, but they are instinctively drawn to men who offer a feeling of safety, not just in terms of money, but in their presence as a whole. Emotional stability, in particular, is one of the rarest and most admired qualities in today's men. Being able to navigate stress, setbacks, and life's challenges without losing composure is a rare strength. While many younger men are still trying to manage their emotions, often acting out of jealousy, frustration, or insecurity, an emotionally grounded man commands respect. He doesn't react harshly when things go wrong. Instead, he radiates a calm, quiet confidence. He doesn't become unsettled when a woman distances herself. His emotional composure makes him a symbol of dependability. Women pick up on this. They feel his calm energy, his patience, and his ability to remain steady, all of which create a sense of security in his presence. Mental stability is equally vital. It's not simply about being smart, it's about having a well-rooted mindset shaped through lived experience. While many young men are still searching for direction, questioning their identity or reacting impulsively, a grounded man moves through life with clarity and purpose. He doesn't crave approval, nor is he easily swayed by fleeting emotions. This mental strength communicates wisdom, confidence, and a quiet sense of leadership, qualities that naturally attract women by making them feel both safe and curious. Financial stability is also often misunderstood. It's not just about having money, it's about being disciplined and responsible with it. A man who manages his finances with intention, plans ahead, and avoids chaos signals reliability. It's not the money itself that draws her in, but the structure and foresight behind it. A man who takes charge of his life, invests in his development, and avoids chasing shortcuts is someone women instinctively respect. This is what makes stability so rare and valuable. Most young people, especially younger men, are still trying to find their footing in an unpredictable world. They're still trying to find purpose, often reacting emotionally to setbacks and struggling to gain control over their lives. In contrast, a man who walks through life with steady composure, unshaken by external chaos, becomes both reassuring and intriguing. Women may not consciously recognize this right away, but they sense it. Something shifts when they're around a man who exudes calm confidence, who listens more than he talks, and who remains unfazed by pressure. Without even realizing it, she begins to smile. She feels comfortable, grounded by the presence of a man who has nothing to prove, who simply exists in his strength. Attraction isn't just about looks, charm, or momentary thrill. It's about presence. A man who has established emotional, mental, and financial stability doesn't need to seek validation. His calm assurance speaks louder than words, and in that quiet certainty, he becomes irresistibly magnetic. Reason 2. Older men create a powerful contrast. Revised. Older men naturally stand out in today's dating world. While many younger men are still developing their confidence, emotional intelligence, and sense of direction, an older man presents a stark and refreshing contrast. Most young women are used to dating peers who haven't yet cultivated the inner strength or self-assurance that only life experience can bring. Younger men often stumble through conversations, distracted by their phones, fidgeting with their appearance or overcompensating with forced jokes and inflated confidence. Their insecurity reveals itself in subtle ways, seeking constant approval through social media, over-texting, or putting in exaggerated effort just to be noticed. They haven't yet learned how to be truly comfortable with themselves, and that uncertainty seeps into every interaction. Then she encounters an older man, and immediately there's a contrast. He isn't restless or scrambling to be funny. He doesn't feel the need to fill every pause with chatter. Instead, he meets her gaze with calm focus, listens with genuine interest, and responds with a confidence that feels effortless. He's grounded in who he is. He moves through life with a sense of quiet assurance that doesn't beg for attention, but effortlessly draws it. He's not chasing anyone. He's not trying to impress. He doesn't shrink under the pressure of female attention because he's not dependent on it. He's present because he wants to be, not because he needs to feel validated. That kind of steady self-assurance is rare, and it sets him apart from younger men. His presence says everything, even when he says very little. His presence is steady, calm, yet undeniably assertive. He doesn't rely on flashy displays of status or exaggerated bravado to make an impression. He understands that real confidence isn't about performance, it's about presence. He doesn't force a laugh every few seconds to keep things going, nor does he shy away from moments of silence. Instead, he allows the space to breathe, making those pauses feel natural rather than awkward. And that alone captures her attention because it's so uncommon. She's used to men who feel they have to entertain, impress, or prove their worth with every word. But now in front of her is a man who simply is, a man with nothing to prove, yet whose energy speaks volumes. That shift in dynamic, that quiet, self-assured stillness, is what draws her in. Younger women are surrounded by men who overthink their every move, overreact to minor signals, and overcompensate in hopes of being chosen. But when she meets a man who doesn't do any of that, she feels something shift. She notices the calm in his presence, the confidence that doesn't need to shout, and the strength that lives in his silence. He doesn't get thrown off if she takes time to respond. He doesn't chase her with needy messages or try to hold her attention out of fear. He moves with intention, not desperation. And that purposeful energy is captivating. This is why younger women are often drawn to older men. Yes, experience, wisdom, and financial stability play a role, but it's deeper than that. It's the way he makes her feel, the contrast he offers compared to what she's used to, the way he exists in her world without needing her permission to do so. He gives her something she's not used to, something grounding, refreshing, and undeniably different, something that makes her pause and ask herself, who is this man, and why am I so curious about him? Reason. 3. Confidence is magnetic, revised. Picture this. A man stands quietly in line at a coffee shop. He's not glued to his phone, not scanning the room for validation, not adjusting his stance to look more impressive. He's simply present, at ease, unhurried, and comfortable in his own skin. He places his order with a calm, steady voice, offers a polite nod to the barista, and waits patiently without restlessness. He isn't trying to be noticed, yet people can't help but notice him. Nearby, a younger woman catches herself smiling. She may not even realize why. That's the subtle, compelling force of real confidence, something many younger men haven't fully developed yet. Youth often comes with uncertainty, but older men tend to carry a quiet certainty born from lived experience. They've been through the doubts, the mistakes, and the pressure to prove themselves. Now, they have nothing to prove, no need for external approval, and no urge to impress just to be seen. This lack of insecurity sets them apart in a powerful way. They're not in a rush to speak, they don't feel the need to over-explain, and they don't constantly question their actions. Their calm presence commands respect, not because they demand it, but because they embody it. Women are naturally drawn to this energy, often without consciously understanding the reason. When a man is truly confident, it shows in everything, in his posture, his voice, his eye contact. It reflects a rare kind of inner steadiness that speaks louder than words. A woman might not be able to explain exactly what draws her in, but she feels it. It's in the way he moves, the way he carries himself with ease, signaling strength, stability, and a quiet confidence. There's no urgency in his behavior, no hint of neediness, no silent request for validation. And that more than looks, charm, or status is what makes him truly magnetic. Most men spend their lives trying to get noticed, convinced they must pursue attraction to earn it. But here's the truth, the most desirable men don't chase, they don't need to. Real confidence isn't about being loud or dominant, it's about self-ownership. It's about knowing who you are and being entirely at peace with it. When a man no longer seeks approval and simply exists with quiet assurance, he doesn't just catch a woman's eye, he stays in her mind long after she's looked away. Reason 4. Experience sparks curiosity. Revised. When a younger woman smiles at an older man, it's rarely about surface-level attraction. It's curiosity. It's her subconscious picking up on something different, something unfamiliar, yet deeply appealing. There's a subtle awareness forming in her thoughts, a quiet realization. This man is not like the others. She senses it. He probably knows how to have a real conversation, or maybe he just seems like someone who's figured life out. There's an unspoken shift when she looks at him, a subtle awareness that he operates on a different frequency. He's not driven by insecurity, impulsiveness, or the constant need for external validation. The trait she's come to expect from many younger men. Younger men, especially those still trying to define themselves, often approach women with a mindset of proving their worth. They lead with humor, flaunt status, or lean on physical appearance to stand out. But beneath it all, there's usually a craving for approval, a desire to be chosen, noticed, or praised. This often results in overcompensation, being too loud, too eager, too desperate to impress. But a man with real experience doesn't play that game. He doesn't have to. He's already lived enough to understand that attraction can't be forced. It's something that flows naturally when a man is grounded. His confidence is quiet, not performative. He moves through life with calm assurance, not because he's trying to appear confident, but because he is. And that energy speaks volumes. What makes experience so compelling isn't just the knowledge or the life lessons. It's the presence that develops from having weathered life. A man who's faced setbacks, wins, and moments of doubt and come out stronger carries a depth that younger men are still growing into. He's gained perspective, learned to regulate his emotions, and developed the kind of emotional composure that can't be faked. That's the energy women notice, even if they can't put it into words. A younger woman, consciously or not, picks up on the fact that this man isn't reactive. He doesn't need attention. He doesn't seek validation. He listens, truly listens, not just waiting for his turn to speak. He knows how to hold space without crowding it, how to make her feel seen without needing to be praised in return. That calm strength, that emotional control, that's what makes him unforgettable. This is exactly why experience holds such powerful allure. It goes beyond mere knowledge or maturity. It's about how a man with experience shows up in the world. He doesn't navigate social situations by theory. He understands them because he's lived through countless real ones. Conversations with him are never forced. They're easy, engaging, and rooted in something deeper than just surface-level small talk. He's been through relationships, learned from them, and no longer interacts from a place of insecurity or fear. That self-assuredness is rare, and women are naturally drawn to it. When a younger woman smiles at an experienced man, it's not just about appearance. She's reacting to his energy, his presence, and the subtle intrigue he carries. She begins to wonder, what kind of life has he lived? What stories could he tell? What would it feel like to be around a man who doesn't chase or impress, but simply is? That kind of magnetism can't be manufactured. It isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet, grounded, and deeply felt. It only comes from living fully, from having nothing to prove, but so much to offer. Reason 5. She genuinely finds you attractive. Revised. There's a widespread myth that a man's desirability fades with age, that youth is the main ingredient of attraction, and once a man passes a certain point, his appeal disappears. But nothing could be further from the truth. Many younger women are attracted to older men because of their age, not in spite of it. The traits that accompany life experience, wisdom, emotional depth, and quiet confidence often make an older man far more appealing than a younger man still figuring things out. Physical looks do matter, but not always in the way popular culture suggests. Features like salt and pepper hair suggest maturity and character. A man with a refined, intentional sense of style, a well-fitted jacket, clean grooming, thoughtful accessories, can effortlessly stand out next to younger men still experimenting with identity. But ultimately, it's not the appearance alone that draws her in. It's how he carries himself. His energy is calm, his posture assured, and he doesn't seek approval. He's not trying to impress anyone. He simply knows who he is. That kind of unshakable self-possession is magnetic. Society often sells the narrative that a man's value fades with age, that youth is the only form of desirability. This belief causes many men to assume that once they hit a certain age, their ability to attract beautiful younger women declines. But the truth is quite the opposite. Many younger women are looking for exactly what older men offer: security, depth, direction, and the ability to connect without games. They're not just drawn to looks or status, they're drawn to presence. And when a man walks through life with experience and certainty, he brings something younger men simply can't replicate: maturity, intelligence, patience, and a level of stability that younger men often lack. He approaches life with a sense of grounded wisdom, emotional steadiness, and calm insight that younger men are still growing into. He doesn't play games, operates from insecurity, and doesn't need to dominate a conversation to feel important. He's beyond the need for games or ego-driven behavior and doesn't rely on controlling the conversation to assert his value. He knows how to listen, move through the world with quiet confidence, and let his presence speak louder than his words. He listens with intent, carries himself with understated assurance, and allows his calm demeanor to speak volumes. The smile a younger woman gives an older man isn't just politeness. It's often admiration, curiosity, and attraction. When a younger woman smiles at an older man, it's rarely just out of courtesy. It often reflects a mix of intrigue, respect, and genuine interest. She sees a man who has lived, who has experience, and who doesn't seek approval, but naturally commands respect. She perceives a man shaped by life, rich in experience, who isn't chasing validation, but effortlessly earns admiration. She recognizes his capability, composure, and the unique appeal of a life well lived. What draws her in is his competence, emotional balance, and the undeniable charm that comes from a meaningful, seasoned life. The mistake most older men make is doubting this reality, failing to see their value, and allowing societal conditioning to dictate their confidence. Many older men falter by overlooking their worth, letting cultural narratives undermine their self-assurance. But the men who embrace their age, refine their presence, and carry themselves with self-assurance quickly realize that attraction is not about youth, energy, mindset, and the undeniable appeal of a man who knows exactly who he is. Yet those who own their age, polish their demeanor, and walk with quiet certainty soon understand that real attraction stems not from youth, but from clarity, character, and the magnetic pull of a man comfortable in his identity. Before a man even says a word, women often pick up on subtle cues, small gestures that reveal who he truly is. A simple smile is one of these signals, a quiet assessment of his presence, his inner stability, and how grounded he remains in an unspoken moment. When he returns the smile with calm assurance, meeting her gaze just enough to show awareness without seeking validation, he demonstrates poise and confidence. This composed response tells her that he's centered, unfazed, and comfortable within the natural tension that attraction can bring. But if he averts his eyes too quickly, seems uneasy, or hesitates, he unknowingly broadcasts insecurity, something that can immediately dull her interest. Women are naturally drawn to men who project quiet strength, those who don't chase approval, but instead exude a steady, effortless confidence. Her smile isn't just friendliness, it's an instinctive search for a man who aligns with the image she envisions. Someone composed, mature, and in control. If his energy mirrors hers, calm, confident, and grounded, he affirms her curiosity, deepening the spark. But if his response is awkward or disengaged, the moment slips away, along with her intrigue. This isn't manipulation, it's human instinct at work. A woman wants to sense that the man she's attracted to can withstand the subtle intensity of her attention without faltering. The secret is simplicity. A man who is truly confident doesn't question whether to respond. He just does, naturally, with ease, as though it were the most natural thing in the world. And within that quiet, unwavering presence, she often discovers exactly what she was instinctively drawn to. As we bring this reflection to a close, one truth becomes undeniable. The smiles younger women offer older men are rarely random or meaningless gestures. More often they arise from deep psychological undercurrents, subtle attraction, unspoken admiration for confidence, curiosity about lived experience, or even a silent test of emotional composure. Many older men make the mistake of brushing off these moments, not realizing how significant they can be in the eyes of younger women. Qualities like self-possession, emotional steadiness, and life-earned perspective are inherently attractive. Yet too many older men overlook their own value, conditioned by societal myths that equate desirability solely with youth. While younger men may possess energy and surface-level charisma, they frequently lack the inner depth, balance, and calm certainty that come with maturity. So when a younger woman directs a smile at an older man, it's often because she senses that difference. She sees something rare, something compelling and quietly magnetic. But here's the most important point. What truly matters isn't whether she smiles, it's how you respond. A man who knows his value doesn't hesitate, overthink, or seek meaning in every gesture. He simply remains grounded, self-assured, and present because he already knows who he is. He doesn't allow society's assumptions to shape his confidence. Instead, he leans into his strengths, holds on to his self-belief, and moves through the world with calm, unwavering presence. So the next time a younger woman offers you a smile, don't brush it off, acknowledge it. With confidence, not ego. Recognize it as a reflection of the traits you naturally possess: inner strength, emotional stability, and the wisdom that comes from experience. And above all, understand this. Attraction isn't about age alone. It's about the way you carry yourself, the quiet assurance you project, and how at ease you are in your own skin. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed this kind of subtle attention from younger women? Have you ever overlooked a smile, only to realize later it might have meant something more? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Let's start an honest conversation and learn from one another. If you found this perspective valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future content on relationships, self-confidence, and personal growth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.